Welcome to LXN the show. We're inviting you to join us in exploring nerdiness in all its forms as we discuss sci-fi, fantasy, stories, and community. LXN the show will focus on how we bring people together and make a special place for Black nerds or blurs and all nerds in general. We hope to add to the culture by discussing all things nerd from an Afrofuturist mindset. We want to discuss our love of nerd culture in a way that assumes Black people and all people of color belong, are valued, and add depth to the stories being told. Join us no matter where your nerd love takes you. We'll be discussing it all. Star Wars, Star Trek, board and video games, TV and movies, moments and movements in the culture, with as much coolness as we can muster. And with that, I'm Crystal, your host of tonight's episode, and I'd like to turn it over to the cast to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Marcus Ross. I'm a software engineer and board game designer right here in Omaha.
My name is Alex B. I'm part of Alex B Illustrations. I am an illustrator and a lore nerd of all things Marvel.
My name is Jade Rogers. I am the Chief Innovation Officer and founder for the House of Afros, Capes and Curls, sci-fi, fantasy, and PC gamer.
Love it. This show is a new part of the programming for the House. Afro Capes and Curls are also called the House. And while this is new, the House has a long history of bringing the community together. Jade, would you talk about that, especially AfroCon today?
So the mission of the House is we bring people together based on a shared love and interest in sci-fi, fantasy, comics, gaming, tabletop gaming, and Afrofuturism. So we do that in 3 different ways. Community engagement, those are our game nights, our nap nights, and working with different organizations. Our educational programming, which includes our youth program, the Young History Detectives, and adult education courses in history, because I'm an historian in my day job, my other day job, and the signature events. So we have 3 signature events: Black Fae Day in May, which is our celebration of Blacks in fantasy spaces, the Juneteenth Steampunk Tea Party, which is our celebration for Juneteenth of Black Victorian excellence, and AfroCon, which comes up October 11th, and it is all things nerd for all nerds.
What made you think of AfroCon as an option?
I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen it before, and I was going to a lot of conventions, and I wasn't seeing a lot of creators and artists that were of color in the city, and participants. And I felt like there was something there in the community that we needed. And when I kept asking people, well, you know, who do you know? And who's doing this? And can somebody do this? And I kept getting well, you can do it. So that's what.
So you did it. That's awesome. How many years has AfroCon been going now?
This is year number 7.
Wow. And it's usually located at Metro Community College.
Fort Omaha campus.
Okay. And can you guys tell us what you guys usually bring and have brought to AfroCon?
Sure. I don't know what you're looking at. Okay. Well, AfroCon for me is just defined by the people who attend the event and what they bring to it. Myself, I'm usually bringing board games. I design board games, so I'm bringing all of the knowledge that I have. So I'll show how I design board games. I actually bring my prototypes in the process. I've done a couple of speeches that way. And the thing I most enjoy out of AfroCon is just getting to meet other creators and seeing what they do. And they have their displays, and they have the things they have for sale. And we do all kinds of complete nerd stuff. So last time I think I went to the materials lab that Metro has, and we cut out cutting boards with a laser. It was just really a neat time.
I feel like each time I've done something different. The first time I did a lesson titled "What Type of Heels Would Emma Frost Wear?" Which was about how to tackle storytelling and character design, like how to really think about attacking those problems. And then this second year, I did a workshop on, I think it was maybe character design, but in a different form. And I dressed up as Cyclops last year. And I think this year I'm going to be Bishop.
Nice.
Because I literally do not have to change the costume. I can just put an M on my eyeball and wear a scarf and get a fake gun.
Which version of the hair? You got?
I'm not getting that. So, bald bishop may just be the bishop that I am,
We can
which
get you
is
a wig.
canonical.
We can get you a wig. Come on.
No, thank you. But yeah, so.
Have you guys attended other sessions that are memorable to you?
It was the costume contest last year. That was really exciting, just considering like everybody was putting their care into like their little costumes. I did pay money for mine. I'm just gonna be honest. I did not make that Cyclops costume. I bought all of that online. And people came with these like really just dope DIY costumes and just kind of got to strut their stuff, and it was some Black excellence going on. So, yeah.
Yes, I do. I remember the family costume too. That was a really good one. It's just a great atmosphere that you're able to build, Jade. What do you get from bringing all these folks together and thinking about the community in that way?
The networking and also being able to see that you're not alone in the space. I think one of the things that we do, and Marcus is always in the room, the Star Trek versus Star Wars meetup.
And yeah, I'm representing Star Trek. Put that out there.
And
Trekkie for life.
yeah, and just to be able to walk into a room, because we have meetups, the Game of Thrones, I don't think we did a Game of Thrones meetup last year, but when it's in season, you know, when there's a season running, that's usually a hotbed of, no, we need more time to have this conversation about the season that doesn't exist. Being able to walk into a space and know that the other people that are in there are also in love with the thing that you are in love with. And now you have somebody that you may have seen in the community in a different capacity. And now you know, oh, we have this other thing that we like. You know, there are certain people, several people that are executive directors of other nonprofits and presidents of companies that come through in their costumes. And when you see them in that way, and then you see them outside of AfroCon or, you know, another event, it's like, like, I know you. So I love being able to make those connections with people and having a space to do that.
I love that. What about you guys? What's your favorite part?
I mean, just anything can happen at AfroCon. I'm like, one of the panels I attended last time, another Black software engineer was just discussing what it takes to have a career in that industry. And that is something that I don't see much of. I have more Indian coworkers than I do Black coworkers, just period. And it always has been that way. I'm one of one when I walk in a room. And being in a room where there was at least some other person I could talk to about our shared experience was really cool.
Nice. I was gonna say, Jade, I don't think anybody will ever recognize me, ever, because the Cyclops costume had this visor that is kind of like Superman glasses.
Oh, it's just,
you know, just in the way that like you don't really see the person behind it at all.
Interesting. So that
and-
custom would work. Okay.
Yeah, so it was really cool to just kind of just like, I've never done cosplay before. You know, I've done Halloween, of course, as a kid, like Power Rangers and stuff like that. But it was cool to be like, oh my God, that's Cyclops. I'm just Alex. You know, I had people like asking me questions that they wanted me to answer as Cyclops. I can't do that. If you see me at AfroCon and I'm Bishop, and you ask me a Bishop question, Alex is gonna respond to you because it's just a little too much meta at that point. I can't do it.
What does it feel like to be able to be in a safe space? You said you've never cosplayed before. What gave you the freedom to do it at AfroCon?
It was AfroCon.
Okay.
It was AfroCon. I feel like if there was any convention that I wanted to go to and wanted to show out, it was one that was like, you know, for Black spaces and Black people. I did go to Anime Con because you don't spend that much money on a costume and not go to other conventions.
He said it's an investment.
You know, and it was Anime Con, but everybody was really impressed that I chose Cyclops. They were like, "Hey, he's not from an anime at all, but we like your gusto." And so that was cool.
That's so funny. Jade, what do you feel when you hear these stories about how you've created a safe space for people to find each other, especially within the Black experience here in Omaha and even beyond?
it makes the work worth it, because it takes a lot to put on the events and to do the programming throughout the year. I mean, we're running from February to November with programming every month, and it's a lot of work. But when you go to the events or you have the things and you see the people and they're making the connections, it's like, okay, this is what it's about. And so that makes it worth it.
And we'll speak a lot about the Black experience throughout nerd life and nerddom. Why is that important to each of you?
Oh, I was picked on relentlessly through childhood for being any kind of a nerd. And I can remember specifically being in science class, I made my rocket look like the Starship Enterprise. And that was not the best choice for my social life, I will say that. And it also didn't work very well as a rocket.
Okay.
But
Side note.
I feel like at AfroCon, that kind of thing would be a really funny story instead of just kind of embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. I feel like what I like most about it is just that everybody around is comfortable. Yeah. Everybody around is, I don't know, you get this really good community feel when everybody says hi to you. Yeah. When you walk in the room, everybody addresses you as a person, because it's like a smaller con. Mm-hmm. You don't get that like, show me your badge and just be on your way. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like checking on everybody's booth, and everybody's like complimenting everybody's costumes, and it's just like, I don't know, like
community building.
Yeah, nice community building for sure.
Like, how many places can you let your geek flag fly this hard? Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially in Omaha.
Luckily, it's close to Halloween, and so nobody questions why I'm driving in that costume.
Dressed as like us.
Yeah.
What about for you, Jade? What about this speaks to the Black experience specifically?
Well, I've always been a nerd, and especially in like PC gaming and playing games, people would always question why. You know, why are you playing that character? And there are no women. Girls don't play WoW. How many times did I hear that playing World of Warcraft? And I was an adult. It's like, a 14-year-old boy. I'm a grown woman. What did I
do? Yeah.
And
doxed.
Right. So, you know, but even before that, going into comic book stores and being the only Black person or the only woman in those spaces and not being talked to or addressed or acknowledged. And sometimes it's like, I don't know if it's because I'm Black or I'm a woman or what, but being okay with, I just got to get my thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have to get my thing. So years of that sort of thing, and not wanting the next generation to have to go through that. Mm. So making the space available for us, knowing that the kids that come up behind us see us as adults loving and enjoying this thing, and knowing that that thing is cool to them and it's cool to me, it's okay. Because I always felt like when I played The Sims, when I'm in college, it's like, it's okay. And as soon as I'm done, it's like, well, I guess I gotta stop playing The Sims now. I gotta be an adult. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm still playing The Sims. I still wanna do those things. So it was being okay with the looks and the conversation around, you still play that? Mm. And knowing now that it's like, yes, what is your form of self-care? Because that's what it is for me.
Yeah. And
the kids that we work with know that it doesn't matter what they are into, it's okay. And they see the adults. And in fact, AfroCon and most of the events that we have are primarily adults dressing up, and the kids see it and they're like, oh my God. Like, did you see that costume, Miss Jade? It's like, yeah, I did. So next time, you know, you can actually have the costume and you can wear it, and knowing that that's okay for them because they're still in that formative space where they've told me, you know, they're teenagers in school and they're like, my friends are like, you can't be that character because you're not this. You're not that. You're a girl. You can't be him. You're Black. You can't be that. So they're getting it like we got it. Yeah. We have to make it better for them.
I love that. I thought about this for a very long time. We grew up in spaces that without ever feeling welcome. There, you know, there was nothing at school that reflected you. There was nothing outside of school really that reflected you. And you're really creating a space where people can see themselves reflected. And that just makes you more comfortable to try new things. I'm not sure I'll ever cosplay, but that's okay. For those of us who are a little bit nervous, it's okay. We still have a home at AfroCon to learn about all the different fandoms, all the different ways in which we can be nerds. I think one of the things I love specifically about AfroCon is that diversity. You know, we hear that phrase all the time, Blackness is not a monolith, but you can see that at AfroCon. Kind of where do you guys see that reflected when you're attending AfroCon?
Question. You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, just as far as like the free market of just like space, you know, this year I'm planning to. I've not signed up yet.
He's gonna.
It's open. Yeah. You are able to sign up now. If you know, this is like a month ago, but I'm gonna do a booth where I do 20-minute pictures for people. So you know, I'll just have like a list of all the characters I can draw, less like things I can do, just like some ideas for people. And then, you know, give me $15 and come back in 20 minutes and I'll bust out a picture for you. But there's people selling like pens, there's people selling candles, there's people selling all types of stuff. It's it becomes kind of like an open market more than like nerd centric.
Oh, okay.
You know? And so there's like Black people selling all kinds of stuff. It's just dope.
It's really, yeah, I do agree with that. It's so cool to see all the things that people have ventured into and are risking and then bringing to us to partake in. I buy a lot of stuff at AfroCon, so be warned. It's a good place.
I have a different question for you.
Oh, I'm the host though.
I know. I know. But you said you're not, don't think you could ever do cosplay. Would you do a group costume with other people? Where you didn't have to do the whole thing yourself.
So interesting. You know, I just have never considered it. Would I dress up? You know, I don't know. It would have to be like something super low key. Like, I have no examples.
Something you just put on a t-shirt. I'm one of those people.
Like, I'm like Jim from The Office, where he like put on a name tag that said Dave and he was dressed up and that was his Halloween costume. I can do that kind of level.
So it's the elaborateness of the...
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like, and then I have to take it off and then I own this stuff. Like, where do you keep your Cyclops costume? I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't have the answer to that.
You understand.
question.
I feel like I'm the exact opposite.
I know. Oh my goodness, you guys have these beautiful outfits that I'm like, where do you keep it the rest of the year?
In the closet?
Yeah, I've got a closet full of stuff that I've got for the Steampunk Tea Party.
Yes,
I have a
I guess
vest
that's
custom
beautiful.
made every year. So.
I went to like 6 parties in that costume. It is not a costume anymore. It is in tatters and holes and
But it's part of the wardrobe.
yeah, it was a great Halloween. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So Jade, what do we have to look forward to this year?
I think the vendor market gets a little more nerdy every year. I think that people are getting to the point where they're like, okay, maybe I can add an element to this thing that I do that actually represents the thing that I'm nerdy about. Because the folks that make the candles, I'm like, but you watch Game of Thrones, or you do this. Why is that not reflected in your things that you make for AfroCon? Well, I don't know. And so once they get there and they see, oh, okay, this is what it is, we've gotten a little bit better. And I'm hoping that continues to grow, because I want the nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Because where else am I going to get it?
Yeah.
And as an adult, you don't often give yourself permission to get those things until you're in a space like that. So, and it would be really good to get them from the people in your community. I think that just is, the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the vendor market is growing. But the other area that is really going to grow this year is our esports. We have some exciting things that are
Tell
coming.
us what esports are for those of us.
Video games.
Okay.
Video games.
Yeah.
But esports is technically an athletic sport. And so we have esports leagues in the city And our ultimate goal is to craft that in North Omaha
Oh, wow.
our children. But we got to start somewhere. So we have the tournaments, and there's Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Those are the only two that I remember because I don't do this. I do this. So I know we are actually put a call out for donations towards Nintendo Switches because we have an announcer that is working with us, that we're partnering with someone. I'm not going to put everything out there yet, but
Teaser.
they are nationally recognized and are going to be running the esports section. But we want devices and devices that we can keep as our part of our library so we can do it often with anyone that is interested. Because it's not just about the kids, it's also about the adults that play the games too. So in the past, we've had some devices, we've had computers and monitors available so that people, the first year we did it, it was so quiet in the area. I was like, oh, nobody's utilizing it. Every computer was full.
They were just focused.
And people were just quiet.
Yeah.
And the cutest thing was I saw a child and their mother, and they were playing two completely different games, sitting next to each other, not really having a conversation because mom was in her game and the kid was in their game. It's like that's what it's about. So those are the two things that are gonna grow at AfroCon this year.
I love it. You have a full schedule of workshops and talks and things for people to do, costume contests for folks to participate in. How can we support this event?
afroscapescurls.com is the website. That's where you can get your ticket. You can apply to be a vendor. So I think that the vendor form is up there. And if it's not, you can email me at jade@afroscapescurls.org. But the website is the best way to reach for all of those things.
And if you're unable to attend, you can still donate, and that money will go towards making sure the event is successful, but also that the house is successful and continues to be able to offer this programming. And we do hope you will donate and or attend. And attend, actually, not or. Come on down, guys. Yeah, so that is our show for today. I have one last question for us, though. To kind of tease our next episode, I have a question that is going to cause some arguments. And I'm ready for it, guys. So, for the rest of your life, forever and ever, amen, you can only have stories that are either sci-fi or fantasy. That's it. I'm not taking any other answers. They have to be one. And it can't be genre blending. It has to be as close to a pure definition of either of those. What will your stories be, sci-fi or fantasy?
That's really, really, really simple. It's gonna be sci-fi.
So you can continue to watch Star Trek forever and ever?
Yeah.
So where does Star Wars fit?
It's pretty fantastical, honestly.
So you'll never watch Star Wars again?
Andor is fantastic, and it actually leans closer to sci-fi than the fantasy that's generally in Star Wars.
Do you guys agree with that? Starting to
No?
No.
No. Why not?
No. Do we have time for that? There's only so many minutes on the clock now.
Just a quick, okay, we'll come back if we got to see if we can have time to fight. But what's your stories from? Where are your stories from, Alex?
I would choose sci-fi. I'm not a big fantasy fan in general.
Where does Marvel fit in that?
I would say Marvel's pretty sci-fi. For me, the definition of what sci-fi is
tell us, yeah.
is having a set of rules that are followed strictly unless you are adding to that pantheon. I would say fantasy, when you're dealing with magic, allows you to do things that sci-fi literally cannot do because of the rules that have been set. I feel like Deus Ex Machina is a fantasy thing. Like science cannot Deus Ex Machina something.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with you, but like
I wouldn't separate Star Wars and Star Trek from
Fine, but
sci-fi. They'd both be sci-fi.
did you lump
Star
Doctor
Wars?
Strange
Yeah.
into sci-fi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Because Doctor Strange has to interact with Iron Man and he has to interact with
but he
the
can-
Guardians of the Galaxy.
But he can open portals. What science is
He can
that?
open portals, but many people can teleport in the
Which is why
Marvel
this is a
universe
fantasy.
as well.
Yeah, which is why
well,
this is
well, no, because
fantasy.
there's rules attached to the teleportation that he can or cannot do. There's distance rules. There's amount of people rules. There's rules about how large a thing you can teleport is. There's many different kinds and levels of teleporters.
Magic has
Those
limits.
things are expanding. Again, that is what science fiction is.
not
You
giving
set
it to
the
you.
rules and the parameters, and then you follow them strictly or explain. If there's a fantasy thing that does a great job at explaining anything,
Move it into sci-fi.
then I would move it into sci-fi.
Okay, Alex, I'm gonna move on.
What are those people, the White Walkers on Game of Thrones? What is explained about any of that?
there's a lot of science fiction that's not explained, but
That's a whole.
I'm gonna let that go.
1 minute, guys.
Jade, where are all your stories coming from?
Fantasy.
Oh, fast and quick.
Yeah.
But you're never watching Star Trek again. Because you love the universe.
I do. I love Star Trek. No, it's got to be fantasy.
What can't you miss out on from fantasy?
The going beyond what science can do, the barriers that you can break with magic, and the rules. Like the rules don't apply to magic. So I gotta have fantasy.
Thank you so much for joining us. Our new show, LXN, the show. We hope that you'll find us online and come to AfroCon on October 11th. Stay nerdy, Omaha.